I'm just walking through the streets of Thailand here during the mornings. Still pretty dark, but I feel pretty safe here so far. Hello everyone, this is Ronan Blue. Just taking my daily walk here in Bangkok, Thailand. So this is actually my very first financial vlog here. It's actually 6:30 in the morning on a Sunday, and everyone's just jogging, getting their exercise. But anyways, today's topic would be on some of the financial things I wish I knew in my 20s. So in your 20s, you're not really thinking too much about your finances. Like you're thinking more towards getting your first job there, or you're thinking more towards your schooling to get your education. But in my 20s, I really wish I knew a lot of certain money tips, and if I knew them earlier, I would have probably been able to retire earlier than today. But if you are in your 20s and are looking to become financially independent, you could do so just by following a couple of plans or strategies. So most people who are wealthy today actually have a plan. So it's very important for you to have a plan, and goal setting would be one of those things you want to look at. So you might become one of those note takers, and you write everything down for potential side hustles that you start doing or something like that, or your savings goals. But because if you don't start young and you have that mindset of just going to that job and being somewhat like a pawn, where the corporation kind of moves you around as they please. I mean, some people like being directed as such, but if you don't like that kind of lifestyle, then you want to start early and start saving and planning out your future. But another money tip you want to follow is by taking larger risks. I mean, in your 20s, you don't have a mortgage, or you don't have kids either. So there's plenty of places where you can take risks. And that's actually a regret for those who are older, who never really had that opportunity, or never really thought about taking those risks in their younger days. So whether it be in your job, or you can even start investing at an earlier age as well, because time is on your side to start growing your wealth. And the next money tip would be to just be able to earn your income there. You can start by just babysitting, or you can even walk dogs if you wanted to, but you want to start early. And by doing so, you'll be ahead of the pack, and it's gonna pay dividends in the longer term. Another thing you can do is just by keeping your expenses low. A lot of people actually don't keep this in mind, but saving is extremely important. I mean, it's a simple thing, budgeting, but you can take advantage of having to stay with your parents' home. Parents watching this probably wouldn't agree, but the longer you do stay with your parents, you'll be able to save money as well. So, and also you can maybe cut down on spending a lot of money to hang out with your friends. I mean, some people actually spend like $300 for an outing with their friends, and that's a pretty crazy amount to spend just to do so. I suggest that you also avoid buying those fancy cars or those material goods. It's easy to get into that trap, you know, just to try to show off in front of your friends or something like that. But I would highly suggest you not do that, and find alternatives. Like there's Uber now. You don't even need your own car, and you can also get some bicycles as well, and those scooters. But yeah, just find alternatives to your transportation needs. And also you want to focus on less on depreciating assets, and focus more on appreciating assets instead, like investing as an example. So those are that is where I would like you to focus your income growth on. So another way that you can focus on growing your wealth is by focusing on your job, like working as hard as you can and impressing your boss. So that's a really good thing to do as well. And that way you can get promotions and you get more money as well. So you can take that extra money and eventually invest it. So that brings me to my next point of having to invest the hard-earned money that you earn. So in your 20s, a lot of people are actually a little bit afraid of investing. So if you invest into a stock portfolio, that's probably the best way to grow your net worth and your nest egg for the future. So the earlier that you start, the earlier you can take advantage of compound interest. And just like us, we invested in our 30s actually, but if we did actually invest in our 20s, then you know, for dividends, that's how we were able to reach financial independence. So it's highly advisable that you start investing that hard-earned money. I know it's kind of hard to do so, especially when you have student loans in your 20s, but I think it's manageable to save at least 10%. Yeah, just keep that in focus. If you save around 10% of your income, it'd be a pretty good start for you for your future earnings. Another point that you might want to think about is thinking big. Like in your younger days, you had the opportunity to think up of different kinds of ideas. So that's what a lot of people actually fail to do. I mean, straight out of school, you know, you get your education, you graduate, and you get that corporate job. But then once you're in that job, you don't even have any time to think of the passions that you have as an individual and some of the ideas that you may have. You might be sitting on a gold mine in starting your own business, and it might grow into something in the future. But another point you want to look at is your growth, your personal growth. So you want to expose yourself to as much experiences as possible in growing yourself and in getting to know yourself a lot more. And like for us, for example, we're trying to develop that experience now in traveling around. I mean, we're here now in Thailand, and we're planning to go to other countries as well, but just for our personal growth and to gain those experiences, because experiences is something that no one could really take away from you. So you can gain those experiences and store them, and they become you. What you also want to do is you want to look at your health. You know, you want to maintain your body, and by maintaining your body, you also maintain your mind. They're one and the same. So you want to make sure that your body is always healthy, and your mind is probably the best asset you can ever have. So you want to accumulate as much knowledge as possible and experiences, and you start to grow as an individual and see the world differently. So that's definitely something that you want to focus on. And another thing, getting a little bit technical here, is to automate your finances. So you want to do that right away with your banking. So whatever paycheck that you get on a bi-weekly basis or a monthly basis, you can go ahead and turn on automatic payments and have those funds just directed to other places where you can invest, like your 401k or Roth IRA. Or for Canadians, it's our RRSPs and TFSAs, and you can invest directly into a brokerage account if you wanted to. So you want to automate those investments and slowly grow your nest egg from there. So automation is key as well from a young age.
Wow.
And another point you want to focus on is knowledge, reading books, articles, anything of the sort. You can't just rely just on the socialist educational system, and That's good for getting a corporate job, yes, but after you get that degree or whatever certificate that you get, you want to continue educating yourself with adapting with the current times, because a lot of the times the educational system is a little bit backwards. You know, it's actually still around 100 years behind, and it's actually better to keep yourself updated with the most recent news and the information that you can gain, and yeah, keeping yourself ahead of the pack. But there's online courses you can take, and there's certifications you can get as well, anything for your personal growth. So there's a number of different options you can take if you do the research in doing so, and you're just focusing on a betterment of yourself. So that's essentially what you want to focus on. And another thing is you want to make sure that you're hanging out with successful people, or people who are positive influences in your life. So you kind of have to be selective on the people you hang out with, especially when you're in your 20s. You'll probably be in front of more people, and from that earlier age you can select the people you want to hang out with. So there might be some positive influences out there, and you don't really want to be around people who bring you down, right? So because your mentality actually becomes that, and it will be detrimental for you in the longer term if you just focus on the bad things other than the good things. And positive people will bring that a new feeling of possibility for yourself in the future. But another little thing that we tend to do is we wake up early in the morning. We kind of sleep earlier at night, and then we just make sure to wake up early in the morning. Like right now it's 7 o'clock in the morning, and my mind is completely refreshed, and I'm walking around getting my exercise, getting the fresh air, and it's an awesome combination. So you want to start off your day with a fresh mind, and you wake up early. And another money tip you want to focus on would be in working on your negotiation skills. So you know, you can negotiate your paychecks as you grow your careers and get those promotions, so you can invest more. You can also negotiate your rent prices as well. You can negotiate pretty much anything, and it's a skill set that you should learn from an earlier age. And that's something I actually had to learn myself. You know, coming here to Thailand, for example, it's within their nature to always negotiate, you know, that better price. And it makes sense. You got to fight for your dollar. So that's a good point as well for a money tip. Tell me what you think of the money tips you should know in your 20s in the comment section below. If you know any money tips of your own, just go ahead and comment below. If you like this vlog, please don't forget to give me a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell for more of my coming content here. Thank you for watching my vlog. Be free, gain wealth, and travel far.